everybody, welcome to Table Talk, the only place where we talk about your questions and thoughts and everything on the hashtag Table Talk and the Reddit/r/SourceFed, where you can submit your questions and your comments. I'm Matt Lieberman.
I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
I'm Dani Rosenberg.
And I want to remind you all that if you want great posters like these or great t-shirts like this one, you can get a Trisha Hirschberg poster, you can get that HJ Spider shirt, you can go to forhumanpeoples.com, and you can go to youtube.com/forhumanpeoples, and you can watch the drawing board every week. We put up 5 designs, and 4 out of 5 are only going to be there for 1 week for you to purchase. Only one will remain, so you need to check it out and find out what's good, what you want.
They're your design.
Yeah, man.
And there's phone cases too.
Yeah, support the community. You could get a hoodie. You get all the stuff. Go get stuff and come back.
Yeah. I was just telling Dani before we started that I think she should make a poster. I think Dani should do a pinup style poster.
Just like that one.
It would be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I should make a poster just like that.
I'll take you to my girls that did this one. They're lovely.
My girlfriend said that I
I
should do that exact poster.
Like Steve did with Med
Like Steve did with Med poster.
Yeah. 100%
Would you be okay with that?
Yes.
Okay,
Are
sweet.
you kidding? I'll do your makeup for it. I think it should happen.
Hell yeah. I'm into it.
Do you have very hairy legs?
Yes.
That's important.
That's even better.
Yeah.
The very hairy legs are necessary.
The hairier, the better.
I don't know how
I'll
we're gonna
lend you my 8-bit
handle
flowers.
the touch. I'm gonna have to.
Do you have those?
Those are mine. Yeah, they're from my house.
Those are awesome.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I did the pinup shoot with all like stuff from my house because the idea was instead of doing like, you know how pinups are always like, I'm so happy to use this rotary phone, or like I'm just ironing. You know how they always are? And so I was like, what if I replace all the props in the classical pinup things with like my nerdy stuff? So I had one where like I was dusting off my Egon Spengler action figure, and I think they're hilarious.
That's
like, my sense of humor to a T.
If I did one, I just want to be like a mob boss with a cigar.
Hell
in my
yeah.
mouth,
Yeah,
like
girl.
my legs crossed on the table.
Everyone
With like a
loves
horse
it.
head in my hand.
Okay,
Took it too far.
I love you so much.
Let's do a question. Okay. At Carly Brown Bear writes, what is the first site, pic, vid, or etc. on the internet that you would show to someone who had never seen or heard of it? So there's something that you have to share with people.
Oh.
Okay. On any site.
On any site. And it can even be a website.
Don
On the
Hertzfeldt's Rejected Cartoons is amazing. It's so good. It came out, God, I think I was like a freshman in college, so I'm gonna date myself. It was like a decade ago. And it's just like these amazing drawings by John Hertzfeldt, who does a bunch of animation. And supposedly the story is like he submitted these to the Family Channel as promos, and they're all very dark and twisted and insane, and it goes on for like 9 minutes. And anybody who hasn't seen it should absolutely see it.
Cool.
So good.
Yeah. For me, it has to be, there's this Birthday Boys sketch. The Birthday Boys is a great sketch comedy group. They have a show on IFC that actually just got added to Netflix. You should check that out. But they have a sketch on Funny or Die called Ham Hat. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
Ham Hat is my favorite thing on the internet, and it can cheer me up no matter what, any time of day.
It's a real quickie, isn't it?
It's like 7 minutes long.
Oh, wait.
It's like 7 minutes long. And it's, for people who love YouTube and love making content, it's all about making a video, but then it just becomes this weird piece of anti-comedy. There's no jokes in it, but it's so funny.
The Birthday Boys are so king at anti-comedy.
They're so awesome.
I love the Keeping the Beat
sketch.
That's a great sketch. That's a great sketch. Yeah.
I've never seen that. I have to watch that now.
After this is done, I'm showing you Ham Hat.
We're all just going to send each other links on Skype after this is done.
Yeah, except for I don't know that everyone's going to want mine.
What's
What
yours?
is it?
I like kids being awesome. Like, I know that's like, oh, puppies. No, it's not like an actual site, but I'm just like, I would montage together all the videos of like Jessica's daily affirmations and thumbs up for rock and roll.
Hell yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
Kid.
right? Oh, that's what I'm like. I would just take all those and mash them together and be like, this is the
You
internet.
can do all things great.
This is the internet. Mixed in with something really bizarre, like probably something from Steve's personal.
Just get a real quick one.
So it's just like lots of
bizarre.
great
Get some
clips.
really
Julian
cute
clips in there.
Yeah, feel good, like baby laughing at tearing paper, all those videos. I don't know, maybe I'd finish it off with David After Dentist.
I love it.
Oh,
I love that little girl when she's in Toys R Us and she's like, why are the girls stuff pink and the boys stuff blue? And she's like soapboxing and she's like 3 years old. It's great.
Small passionate children is awesome. I'm way into it.
all
It's
about
hilarious.
Kids impress me all the time, man. That's the thing. Like, hate is something that's taught. Kids get it. They understand.
Kids get
They understand it completely. I don't remember where I read it. There was like that story of the little girl who saw a kid with 2 dads, and the parents explained, like some people have a mommy and daddy, and some people have a daddy and a daddy, and the kid was just like, okay,
Cool.
yeah, cool, fine. Like there's nothing wrong with it.
And
there's
kids
nothing
are
confusing.
super honest, and those are my favorite.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to just come out and say something that like needs to be said, and they entertain the hell out of
Your eye is weird.
Oh, they will. I had one of my little cousins came up to me right after I was drinking coffee one time and was like, your breath stinks. And I was like, thank you, as I get a Listerine tab out of my
Breath police, only 3 years old.
Yeah. Oh,
You just
he was
want
on
to
it.
keep a kid around you for that particular purpose. So they can be like, you have lipstick on your teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Like, sweet, thanks.
Absolutely. All right. Eli Winston at Eli Winston 12 says, have you ever cheated on a test? Ooh. If so, were you caught, and what was the punishment?
Nope.
This is a good one.
Never cheated, not once.
Not on a
Never?
test, no. I'm smart as hell, dude. I don't need to cheat.
Yeah!
Good,
Dani, fuck yeah!
I got desperate in freshman year of high school. I got really desperate because I was one of those kids who I was really smart when I was young, so I never learned how to study. Yeah. And then middle school came and just smacked me like a fucking Mack truck,
You're like, this is way harder than shapes.
Yeah, exactly. Or multiplication I could do in my head, but then they want you to show the work or having to read the book, and I hated the books that we were reading. And we were doing A Tale of Two Cities in freshman year English, and A Tale of Two Cities to me is the fucking most boring book
You had
ever
Grapes
written.
of Wrath? That shit's boring.
No,
I never read
That's
Grapes
rough.
of Wrath.
That's
Steinbeck is rough. I read The Pearl, but not Grapes of Wrath. But basically, so I have ADD and basically a processing issue. It's a learning disability, and it's okay.
I would have
I think
never guessed.
I turned out all right. No? Not ever? No, never, ever?
Focus.
And they finally recognized it at school, and they gave me like extra time on tests, and I have weak hand muscles, so I can't write for long periods of time. I overcame. So I could use a computer to take some tests. So they let me go to the library to take a test on Tale of Two Cities. And I totally just started looking everything up on the internet.
Oh man, that was probably way back.
I was on
think about
fucking SparkNotes.com, and I was just.
And no one was watching you?
No one gave a shit about me.
That's not true.
At that point in time, it very well may have been.
I think they just didn't think that.
I don't think they realized the
underestimated
power
you.
of the internet.
Well,
I think
also,
they were like, oh, sweet Matt Lieberman.
I mean, it's like profiling as well, because I was a very sweet kid, and I was getting good grades in all my other classes.
Yeah.
It's just I hated that English class.
They're like, he would never do anything, and you're like,
That's hilarious.
I was the worst.
That's hilarious.
I'm sorry. Oh God, what was her
What
name?
was her name? Get it out.
Mrs. Johnson?
We're sorry, Mrs.
Was it Mrs. Johnson? That's the only time I've ever failed a class. I failed fourth quarter English that year because I didn't turn in a paper. I turned in a paper that was incomplete, and I still got a B on it. But I still.
We're a good student.
Yeah, well, it was a very smart paper. I just didn't finish.
Maybe
in conclusion.
Yeah. In conclusion,
Yes.
you can cheat and get away with it if you're smart and you're white.
I did once as well, and it was also a desperation
I love
story.
naughty Trisha.
I know. Much like Matt, I was a little kid that didn't have to study at all, except for me, it was 9th grade that smacked me in the face.
That's what I'm talking about. 9th grade, freshman year of high school.
Yeah, it was freshman year of high school. Same thing. I got there and I was like, oh God, and I got an F on my first English test. And I flipped out because I had never gotten anything but A's. And I was like, this is horrible. Anyway, taught myself to study. But this didn't happen right away. This was like a year later, maybe I was in 10th or 11th grade. But I was always overloading on courses, and like to an insane point. Like I'm a perfectionist. But I was like overloading on courses as much as I could at school, and then some years going to a college nearby and taking college courses at night, so that when I started college, I was already a couple semesters ahead.
Yeah. Damn, bro, okay.
Well, I was crazy, like I said. But anyway, it was some period of time where like and I was in drama club and speech and debate and all that. So it was some period of time when like everything just happened to like come to a head at the same time, and there was just not enough hours in the day for me to study for this one Latin quiz. And I was like, I'm gonna memorize it that night. Like I just need one more day. But instead of asking the teacher for like a 1-day extension, and I was like, it still counts. Like I'm still okay because I'm gonna memorize it tonight. I just didn't get there last night because I couldn't. I went to Catholic school, so I had a uniform. And I didn't want to like write it on a piece of paper and slide it under my test because it was memorizing
Put it in
the
the
endings.
folds of your skirt.
I wrote it on my thigh.
On your thigh.
That's dope.
And I was like, because I was like, no teacher's gonna be like, let me see up under there. So I was like, I feel like I'm pretty safe.
You know, some kid in class saw you just like looking at your thigh, and they were like,
it
was an all-girls school. Well, an all-girls school they could have as well.
Still awesome. Yeah.
The flap came over this way, like in the front. The flap came over this way, so I just had to cross my legs and like slightly slide it to see the ending.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's some spy shit.
Yeah. Well, because I was like, there's no way. Like, I'm not going to cheat and even kind of get caught. Like, that's not a thing that's happening.
But I love that you do cheat and you do it like that.
Yeah, well, that's how I did it. And then that night, I went home and memorized those damn endings because I was like, because if you don't memorize them then when the big test comes later, you're going to have to memorize them eventually.
Oh my God.
I just couldn't get to it that day, but I felt real bad about it.
I'm sure.
I felt real bad about it, but I did not get caught. Woo!
All right.
You're writing on your thigh.
Yeah. There's definitely, wait, was your teacher male or female?
I don't remember. I had 2 Latin teachers. One was a guy and one was a girl, and I don't remember who it was that year.
If it was the guy teacher, I bet if
think
he
it was
noticed,
the guy
he just
that
like...
year.
That's the thing, though. If it was the guy teacher and he noticed, he couldn't say anything because then he would admit that he was looking at your upper thigh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I thought it was a pretty genius
He was like,
plan.
Hirschberger.
That is not what he was doing with his hand.
Ew! I hate you both.
I'm sorry.
All right. Reddit.
I'm
We got
sorry.
the
I'm
only
really
quack.
That's all right. I don't really hate you.
And they said, did you ever have a family pet as a child? If you had many, which was your favorite? I had a Dr. Dolittle house, I'll tell you that.
What?
Really?
You had a house full of animals?
Gerbils, rabbits, fish, cats, dogs.
Whoa.
So many.
Danny.
What was the best named animal in your menagerie?
We named a dog Wicket because it was a little fluffy one. It
Oh,
looked
Star
just
Wars.
like
I
the
like
Star
it.
Wars dog.
Yeah.
But what I loved about living with that many animals is animals can just not get along just like humans for no reason. They can just be like, I don't fucking like Lucky.
Like I'm having a day.
I don't like that dog. And one time the wind busted a gate open and 2 dogs got out. They'd been living together for like 7 years. They went in opposite directions. They were like, fuck you, dude, I had enough of you.
Peace!
And they took off. And so I had a bunch of, like my favorite was Goliath, was a big husky. And I could take a nap on him. And then I would get in trouble, I'd bring him in my bed. And spoon with him under my mom would be like, get the dog out of the sheets! I was like, he's my friend!
Yeah.
But we just had we had to put a netting over the pond so the fish wouldn't get eaten by the cats.
Had a pond?
Yeah.
Wow.
Where are you from?
In Southern California.
Damn.
Wow.
We
that
just had a
sounds
ton of
so
animals.
nice.
It was fun. But then animals would die and we'd have like little, like I remember our hamster died and my dad was not an animals person. My mom, me, and my sister love him. My dad was just kind of trapped in this animal hell.
Yeah.
And a hamster died and I was crying. I was like 11 and he was like, it's just a fucking hamster. Like he was like, why are you
What
so...
the hell, Dad? We developed an emotional attraction, not
Jesse
attraction.
was not just a hamster.
You developed an emotional attraction.
Emotional
That's
connection.
another story.
Whoa, what was that swerve movement?
Woo!
She was just reminded of what it was like to have a small gerbil crawling on her frame.
But I grew up with a ton of animals. It's the best. Did you guys do that?
I did not. My sister has cats because like when my brother and I moved out of the house, my family adopted like 5 cats that were living in our front yard. They trapped them and adopted them. So my sister had pets, and my brother had a hermit crab named Klinger that he let die because he forgot to feed it. And then he tried to cover it up by saying that it was an experiment, which made it sound way worse.
That's awful.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Hermit
He had
crabs
just
are
forgotten.
smelly when they die too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And he had tadpoles, which became frogs. I never had a pet. I had a dog named Sergio for 2 days.
Okay.
What happened?
What
happened to Sergio?
My mom took him back. We got him from the we got him from the seeing eye. He had failed his test. He was a year old, and he had a glandular issue, which is just like the ultimate thing for, I feel like, a Jewish kid is a dog with a glandular issue, because that just sounds like something we would talk about. So he couldn't wear a normal leash, which made it hard for blind people to take care of him. He had to wear a harness. And he was a big golden retriever, but he was still a puppy at heart, so he was getting into everything. And my mom she just changed her mind. She just changed her mind, and she took him back. But I was 16.
I hope
so
Sergio
it wasn't like,
found love out
You
there
weren't
somewhere.
too tiny.
Right, it wasn't like heartbreaking, but I'd also been waiting for a pet my entire life.
Yeah.
The only other pet I ever had was a caterpillar named Bill when I was in kindergarten.
The caterpillar?
Did Caterbill ever turn into a butterfly?
He did, and we set him free.
No.
He lived in a jar in the garage with a
that
twig
story.
and a leaf, and then he became a butterfly and flew away.
That's lovely.
Bye-bye, Butterbill.
I think it's probably not surprising to anyone that I didn't grow up in a house.
Oh yeah, you don't like
pets.
dogs.
I
always forget that.
Yeah, it's why I
did not
get
know
so
this.
weird around animals because I never grew up with
You
them.
didn't have any type of creature?
Okay, so we tried. Like when I was little, my sister and I were like, "Oh, we want to get a pet," and my parents were like, "No way." And my mom's allergic to anything with fur, like big time allergies. So that ruled out a lot of animals right there. And they were like I get my perfectionist qualities from my mom. She's super like neat freak, and like she's like, if we get fish, the tank's gonna smell if nobody cleans it, and if we get like it was just very, pets were not a thing that we're having in our house. But we tried, and eventually we got fish. I had 3 tiger fish. I named them Tiger 1, Tiger 2, and Tiger 3. They did not last very long in my house. And then we got hermit crabs down the shore one year. They also did not last very long, and I think my mom flushed them down the toilet.
Are those things supposed to
went
go
away.
down there? Are they big? Are they small?
They can be both. It
Okay.
depends. They like transfer shells, and we got them through one shell transfer, and it freaked my mom out.
Sure.
I had
It's
sea monkeys
creepy.
at one point, but my mom also flushed those down the toilet.
Why?
And then I won a little lizard at a fair one time, and I named him Frank.
And your mom flushed him down the toilet.
I had him for 2 weeks, and then he died of starvation because he didn't want to eat the flies that I bought him at the pet store. He wanted live flies, but like I couldn't just let him go around the house all willy-nilly without his cage, so I tried to like get Ziploc baggies and catch live flies for him, like in the Ziploc baggie, and then open it into his cage.
I don't like the idea of having a pet that you have to feed other animals to.
Like
snakes.
snakes
You
and
have to
stuff.
like get a mouse.
You have to get live mice
I'm
and
way okay
shit.
with that. Like, and I think if I was going to, I had
You're
a turtle.
way okay with that?
Yeah, I'm way okay with it. If I had
Just another animal dead to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
No, like I grew up in an area where
My
like,
name's
Circle
Trisha
of
Hirschberger,
Life-
and I love carnage. Give me the blood.
No, I grew up in an area where like hunting and Circle of Life and all of that completely
Yeah.
makes sense. So it
It's
doesn't
the
bug
circle of...
me. No.
Right? That's what
Well-
you just connected the two of them.
Deer overpopulated.
Yeah.
You know, getting hit by cars is so painful.
What's the largest amount of deer you've ever seen at once?
a lot?
One.
7.
7's good.
7 at once, and it was majestic.
I bet it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
7's good. And then I had a box turtle that I found in the woods once.
What is a box turtle?
A little turtle.
That you keep in a box?
No, it's a type of turtle, a box
okay.
turtle.
You gotta throw the
and-
I Like Turtles
and
kid
I
into
took-
that compilation too.
Yeah, and I got my dad's, we had a crab steaming pot, and I took the lid to it and filled it with dirt and made my turtle like a nice little home
Okay.
in the house, and I fed him
You
fruit.
totally tried.
I totally tried.
You've tried a lot, and I respect that.
And the turtle got himself out out of the lid when I was at school one day, flipped over, and then we all came home and just couldn't find him. And my mom freaked out because she was like, there's dead turtles somewhere in this house that we're just going to find one day because no one knows
we
where
lost
this
the
turtle
hamster
is.
that way. And then we found it eating my dad's newest jeans.
Well, he was alive at least.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reason my dad hated the animals. He's like, oh yeah, man, I just got these
Damn
jeans.
it, every time I buy a pair of jeans, someone's gotta bite a hole in it.
But then, the turtle tried to hibernate when it got cold outside, so I had to let him go and let him hibernate.
I wonder if the
no pets for me.
Hirschberger name is like amongst the animal community when it comes to like, don't let him.
Don't go there.
Don't go
I legitimately
I like the
tried.
Hirschbergers.
And then even when I moved out to LA, I had a roommate who was like, I'm gonna get 2 kittens. And I was like, oh, cool, kittens. Like, I'll finally have a pet. This is going to be so fun. They were fun for like a week. And then they turned into like the biggest demon creatures I've ever met in my life. I couldn't hang a Christmas tree because they knocked it over. Like, legitimately. Anytime I wasn't in the room, you'd hear crash because they'd knock over the Christmas tree. They chewed holes in my clothes, and I wouldn't know until they barfed it up later on the floor. They were cats that they wanted to cuddle with you, especially when you were, like, eating or something where you didn't want them near you. But then if you tried to pet them, they would scratch you, and you'd bleed. Like, they were the least cool
Kittens are rough if you're sleeping and you rub your feet together like this. They're like, hun.
Yeah.
Oh.
They think it's a game, and they just want to play with your toes, and their little nails get in there.
Snap.
Yeah, they were the least cool. So all of my experiences with animals have been shitty, which is why I'm like,
sorry, girl.
I don't have a pet. I don't need a pet. I'm okay without them. Everybody else's pets are cool from over there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If I go to a party and there's a dog, that party is 100 times better.
See, if I go to a party, I'm like, what room is the dog in? And I'll be in the other
And I'll be
room.
in that room.
But then I don't get to hang out with Dani, and that's a shit party.
Oh shoot, yeah. No, because there's no party like a Danny
There's
party.
no
'cause a
party
Danny
if
party
we're not
don't
hanging
stop.
out. Because of that
All right.
All right.
We're
Because of that
getting-
move right there.
Folks, thank you so much for watching Table Talk. Be sure to send us your questions at the hashtag Table Talk or Reddit/r/SourceFed. And once again, visit forhumanpeoples.com for great
Do it!
posters, phone cases, shirts, hoodies, and the drawing board on youtube.com/forhumanpeoples. I'm Matt Lieberman.
I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
I'm Danny Rosenberg.
That was very concise, Matt.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
man.
I'm very impressed. That was great.
You can
dudes.
go a long time without taking a breath.